together. They're very closely related. And then we picked up a straggler. It's perfect because as we were working individually, it started feeling like just kind of wrong because this culture and this style, it's the more the merrier.
It's very community based.
Yes, and so we are so thrilled to have Barbara up here with us as well. And yeah, we just wanted to bring that element to our presentation. So we're gonna start out with a dance. We're starting there, right?
We're starting with our
Group. Yes, okay. We're gonna start with
we'll dance later.
But you know what, what's interesting is that I called it a dance, and I actually was referring to that, but but the thing is in my research in the culture, so I focused on generally West Africa, and Caitlin focused on Ghana.
Specifically on Ghana.
So yes, but in my research, they actually in that culture they don't categorize things like we do here. So if we say that we're going to dance something, we could be dancing it on our drum. And then when a dancer is out there, they could be singing their dance. So it's all, the words that they use are interchangeable. And I totally relate to that. As a dancer, I don't think it's a coincidence that she and I are both dancers. So, okay, this is called the Dumduba. This is from Burkina Faso. This is where the gentleman who taught this to us is from Burkina Faso. He's from the Bobo tribe. His name is Ismaila Diarra. He's in town. He likes to perform lots of places,
Especially Central Park.
Yes, Central Park on weekends. So he's from Burkina Faso. He is one of the griots, or the Jali, which is a special class of people who are trained from very young to learn all the musical traditions and to be the messenger, to be the storyteller. So he's the real deal, which is pretty exciting. So I think that's, the Dunuma is a dance that's you typically danced by the strong men of the tribe, and there's an element of challenging each other. So they will do that, but in informal settings, the women will do it as well. So you want to play? Yeah? Okay.
Okay, so I decided to focus on this specifically because one of my good friends from undergrad, she studied in Ghana, and the Panlogo was a pattern and a dance that she is, mastering, and which was really great. And while over the weekend I went to the American Museum of Natural History, and I don't know if you've ever been there, but on one floor they talk about the various peoples, Pacific Island, and then African, the various Native American tribes. And in the African people section, I came across this, and I highlighted the first two sentences because they really spoke to me and what Tiffany and I were doing together. So it says, music in Africa must be regarded first of all as a means of communication, even more than language perhaps. It conveys not only meaning, but ideas, thoughts, hopes, desires, and beliefs. And so that translates into the drumming, into the dance, into the singing. And so that really stuck out to me. So just for my own organizational needs, this is the reason for it all. But what is it exactly? So I'm just gonna fly through it so we can move. But the word panloga actually translates roughly into enjoyment. It's supposed to be something that's enjoyed together, either in celebration of something or, as a remembrance. So, it's a neo-traditional God drumming and dance style. It originated in Accra, Ghana, which is right along the coast. And the gentleman created it, I guess you could say, Atul Lincoln, it was inspired by a story his grandfather told him. And the story revolved around 3 princesses, and one of them was named Pamuk. And so that's how it came about. And it started as a dance to tell this story, and then the drumming came later. It was kind of the second half of it. So it's usually done by a master Pamogo drummer and accompanied by others. It was originally created around in the 60s. You know, he was listening to these stories as he was growing up through the 50s. And in the 60s, they created it as a way to latch on to the past, but bring in some emphasis from the present. In my blog post, I talked a lot about how the dance was inspired by some moves from Elvis and by some other influences of the knees bending and the twists and all of that. And you'll see that in the dance we're all going to learn together here. So yeah, it's usually performed at times of celebration. Even, you know, funerals or wakes or things, they still view that as a celebration of moving on. It's not a sad necessarily time. And it transitioned into being performed at weddings and then just into recreational time as well. And there's Catherine. So instrumentation, I'm just going to go through this quickly. I mean, it's pretty easy. You all know how to read. But the Pamogo drum, we are not using traditional instrument right here. It's usually performed on the Pamogo, but we're using a djembe today because that's fun. And this is actually one of my teachers who I had FaceTime lessons with. His name is Suli, and he works alongside my friend Catherine. And she has him come over from Ghana to work with the kids in her school. And this is him, and he made all of those drums. They're handmade. And he always says each drum is like a person. It's unique. It has its own personality. They're never mirror images of each other. If you look at it, yeah, they all look similar, but all the heads of the drums are a little different. The sizes, the carvings, they all make each one unique, like each person. So, as Tiff kind of mentioned, you know, obviously we were all diving in with research and looking at videos, and then Tiff and I had a lesson together, and then I had some FaceTime lessons with Catherine and with Suli. And during these sessions, it was kind of funny because on one, she was FaceTiming me, but then she was using her boyfriend's phone to FaceTime Suli, so we were all kind of in one big session together. Nice. It was kind of crazy because he's been traveling everywhere, but he wanted to help me. And we just couldn't find that direct line, so Catherine was kind of a mediator for us, which was really great. And during my lesson that I had with Tiff, our teacher was explaining to us the different ways to create sound on the drum with the clap, the tone, and the bass, and using your fingertips for embellishments and other things. Yeah, so we'll see here in the dance in a minute, as well as in the drumming, there is sort of a call and response. It's that conversation, you know, fostering that community. And the da-da-da-da-da-da-da, that's usually a call symbolizing, okay, hey, we're either gonna move to the next section or maybe we're gonna repeat a couple times. So we'll see that here in a second. And for learning, I found that it's always about listening, embodying it, and then doing it. It's not, okay, we're gonna sit, here's a piece of paper, and we're gonna read the notes, and we're gonna write down all the rhythms, and we're gonna use takadimi, and we're gonna use whatever. It's no, embrace it, embody it, and put it into your body, which was really nice for me. So, woohoo! Demonstration time! This is Suli, but we're actually going to have some live drummers with us instead, so if everyone could stand up, please. So the pattern that he was teaching me, the first basic variation, is based off of the words Mississippi mud, I like the mud. So it makes it super easy. So ladies, could you demonstrate that, please?
Do you want us to give the tack?
No, just
okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So what we're gonna do is something that kind of embraced the idea of Elvis's leg motions as well as the twist situation. So we're just gonna do feet first because this is how me as a dance teacher breaks it down. So I'm gonna mirror you. So do exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so your feet are just gonna go heel, together, heel, together. Yeah, pretty easy, right? Together, heel, together. Now some of you are a little like peg leggy. You gotta bend. Okay, so it's really about getting down. Yeah. Okay, because the Pamogo is a very physical dance. It's not like I'm gonna do like a little teapot situation. Yeah, it's very get into it. And your hands, they just flow with you. So it's like spa, da, 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 spa, da, da, da. Yeah. So it's not, the big thing with this that I realized is that you can't be afraid of what you look like. Because for me, my background is, and I'll tell you in a second, my background's in Irish dancing and tap, ballet, and jazz. And with that, it's very much like, okay, we're here, and we're doing this, and this is like, okay, we're getting down. So, let loose. Don't be afraid to bend the knees, move the arms. It does not have to be perfect, okay? So, we're gonna try it. So, watch first.
Do you want that?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, okay, that's a signal for you guys to start.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just do it a couple times. My background is in tap and Irish dancing and baby Caitlin. So I did do Irish dancing competitively for over 10 years. And so yeah, that's a picture of me from the regional championships. Woo. So yeah, it was a good time, but Irish dancing specifically, it's all about focusing on what is creating the movement or the sound. So it's usually the feet. The upper half of the body has to remain extremely still because it's in their minds, the feet are important. The upper half is just there for show, just to be pretty. So, this was like, okay, this is fully embodied. Like I have to break loose of the mold. I have to actually use my arms, which was weird. And rhythmically, I'm always used to putting it in my feet. Like I don't do a lot here. It's mostly here. So that's one of the main reasons I picked it was because it was challenging the other half of my body that I hadn't really used a whole lot. But also because of these guys, my students. I picked it because it's something that my school just got a new set of African drums. So now I have a little bit of a foundation that I can take back and teach these kiddos. So, that's all.